gang members. These dangerous offenders were roaming around your country thanks to Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Alejandro Mayorkas, and now they're getting deported thanks to President Trump. As the president said, it's about promises made and promises kept. Now keep in mind, President Trump is doing all of this amid nonstop, unrelenting, negative coverage from a corrupt, broken, state-run legacy media mob. Take a look at this study, Media Research Center. Despite everything that Donald Trump has done, their coverage is still a whopping 92% negative, only 7.8% positive in his first 100 days. We'll have a lot more on this petty behavior from the left. First, joining us now with his thoughts on President Trump's momentous 100 days is Louisiana Senator John Hannity. You know, Senator, as I reflect back on this 100 days, as I watch tonight's rally with the president in Michigan, there really is only one Donald Trump. You know, I remember after Reagan was president, you know, Republicans tried to sound like Reagan. They used the same words as Reagan, but they weren't Reagan. And I think we're seeing a moment in history where you have a guy that really is disrupting that place that you work in Washington, D.C. It is shock and awe. He's iconoclastic, and he's looking at everything anew, and I like all of what he's doing. What are your thoughts?
Well, let me start with my Democratic colleagues. A charitable interpretation of the behavior of the Democratic Party may exist, but I can't think of one. I think most fair-minded Americans think today's Democratic Party looks like the game room in a mental hospital. It's exquisitely shambolic. The only thing the Democrats contribute to the discussion is just a bunch of rabid barking. Many Democrats still drink their caramel frappuccinos and they carry their NPR tote bags, but their ideas are either non-existent or they're shallow, and their passions are immature. The Democratic Party today is not defined by its principles. It's defined by one thing. It's hatred of President Trump, even when he's right. For example, in the first 100 days, President Trump secured the border. The Democrats were opposed. In his first 100 days, President Trump got rid of racial quotas. The Democratic Party was opposed. In his first 100 days, President Trump started deregulating the economy. You mentioned it, Sean, getting rid of rules and regulations. The Democrats were opposed and are opposed. The president began the process, he and Mr. Musk, of scrubbing the budget, getting rid of the spending porn. The Democrats were opposed. The president, in his first 100 days, has backed Israel. He stood up to China. He stood up to Iran. The Democrats are opposed. And the final point I would make that I haven't heard anybody talk